Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Blades of Exile. This is probably going to be my final recording session for this particular scenario, the Valley of Dying Things. But before I get on to the end of it, I do have a few loose threads I want to clean up. For instance, I believe Littleford might be interested in these stone tablets with details on mining techniques. Information. There we go. She takes the tablet you found and looks at it. Her eyes light up. This is perfect! Thank you so much! Then, after you drop a few hints, she decides to reward you. She gives you a large pouch of gold coins. A pretty decent reward for a seemingly worthless slab of stone. Yay! So, let's see. I don't have a lot of food, but yeah, it should be enough. Also, while I'm on this end of the valley, I believe there's a monster den that I never went back to clear up. Mostly because they are awful. You are trying to advance up the valley carefully, in order to not give advance warning to any evil creatures residing here. It didn't work. Your scent was detected by hosts of reptilian heads. You run, but not fast enough. The hydras are almost immediately upon you. So these hydras will utterly maul an early level party. I'm a little more mid-level now. Ow. And here, have a ghoul. Okay, Auric is taking quite a lot of damage. Owie. I may actually want to slow these beasts. Oh, come on! And that's why we make the save. Okay, big rock in the way this time. Interesting. Though if it means I only have to deal with one hydra at a time, that could be good. My ghoul's in trouble. See. You know what? Venom arrows. Have some poison. Oh dear, my ghoul is dead. Okay, Venom Arrows is surprisingly effective. Maybe not that effective, but better than I hoped. Better than I expected. Okay, down to 1. All of them are dead, and also they dropped some loot. Was not actually expecting that. Fortunately, victory is yours. Unfortunately, the Hydras were poor in everything but bones. You leave without any loot. Aside from what they dropped on the battlefield. And they are guarding no fun secrets. Boo. Well, with that, there's one more thing that I can do that I'm only mostly sure I want to do. The mayor of Morales wants something to help with all this disease they've got to deal with. Aha, and we can in fact give them the Scepter of Healing. Broder's jaw drops. He takes the scepter reverently. I have heard of this blessed object, but had not dreamed that we could find it. He removes from a pouch a slender wand. Here is a reward. Thank you again for your invaluable help. He thinks, that reminds me, I know someone else who owns an artifact from the school. A man named Pangle lives in a hut south of town. I heard him say once that he found some papers near the old ruined school. Ask Kevin about Pangle. Kevin's a friend of his. Yaha. Well, fortunately for anyone who wants to actually keep the Scepter of Healing, Kevin will tell us about Pangle freely anyway. Okay, I've got some throwables. Do I have enough skill points to do any training? Okay, I've got a few on the people I want to train, and lots on the guys who need less training. So I'm going a bit out of my way here, but the valley's not that big. With Margot, I almost want to save up for 5th level spells, but yeah, that's less relevant here. Just give her a straight-up spell point boost. Really do want to boost Thistle's intelligence more. Lyra has a few directions she could go. There, now Brent is very good with edged weapons. And Orig is very good with pole. And yes, I do totally have some extra points I could spend, but A, I kind of want to hang on to them until I decide who gets alchemy skill later on, and B, I kind of want to see if extra skill points carry over between scenarios. I hope they do. Oh, also wand. I should identify that. Wand of fireballs, not bad. And a ring. Where did I find a ring? Right, in the control center. Bronze serpent ring, which looks like it can summon a few snakes. Yee? And that helmet, which is just a bronze helm. A couple of more piercing crystals, I knew what they were already. A goo bomb that I still haven't used. Also, remind me to pick up all my alchemy supplies that I've been hoarding back at Fort Talrus before I end the scenario. Shouldn't be that hard to remember, as I have to go through Fort Talrus to leave anyway. Scare off some goblins. Oh, actually, before I go up here, I should buy some more energy potions, even if they are just weak energy potions. I should avoid walking through swamps, but apparently I'm not gonna. Item is too heavy. Yeah, it would be nice if potions stacked, but apparently they don't. Back to the experiment halls, which are so far free of rat creatures. Good, I get to avoid some rather annoying fighting. Unlock the doors with the big brass lock. And out into... Wait, no. I'm doing this wrong. I don't need to go here, I need to go to the other cavern underneath the school between the upper and lower halves. Hadway. Will it be faster to ascend? Probably a little. Library is quite simple to move through. And now it's just a few gremlins. No? No gremlins? Do I get to avoid all the extraneous fighting today? Cool. Unfortunately, I do have to walk through some horrible sludge. Bleh. So I'll just cast Cleanse a few times. And we will take a rest right next to the river of horrible toxic sludge, because that's a safe thing to do. If it comes down to it, I may need to cast the mana spell. I would love to explore a little more thoroughly, but I also don't want to get diseased that badly. Primary waste storage, which is currently doing a crap job of storing the waste. Do I see a secret door there? Here, the poisonous goo is so concentrated that stepping in it would probably mean a quick, unpleasant death. You decide not to risk it. Ew. That one, on the other hand, is fine. It's Brent who's dumbfounded, that's not so bad. Actually, do I need to do Cleanse, or will Cure Disease do enough? Cure Disease does enough. Mostly Cure Disease does enough. Well, I could always just put up with being horribly diseased for most of this dungeon. Okay. Mm-hmm. So how am I supposed to get through here? I could have kept the healing scepter, but no, I wanted to be heroic. That was Margot, not Thistle. That was useless. You've spent too long in this incredibly poisonous atmosphere. It's starting to get to you. Okay, I'm going to just leave the disease there for now. And I think I get into the building this way. Find a cracked wall and go boom. From here, at last, you can see the true causes of the curse on the Vale. They're right in front of you. You see boxes and barrels, dozens of them, many of them leaking. On the floor around the containers are all manner of alchemical and magical tools. You see beakers and flasks, vials and tubes, each of them covered with the residue of magical experiments. This structure contains the debris and poisonous detritus of 1,000 failed experiments, badly mixed potions, and spells gone wrong. Nothing is more dangerous than the result of a miscast spell, and all of those leavings were just put into barrels, and left here. Left without proper protection, without anything that would effectively keep the refuse from poisoning the water of the Vale. Cold fury grows inside you. How could anyone be so careless? And how are you to take care of it? There's so much residue, so much waste here. You can't imagine how you will be able to get rid of it all. The cause is here. The solution is still far distant. You take note of all of this. The officials of the Vale are sure to be interested. So, yeah, that's my note that the mayor of Sweetgrove would actually have a response to this development. Oh, that's to your passage. Just in case you forget about your Move Mountain skill. Should I go out and talk to the mayor of Sweetgrove again? I could. Just to show off the extra dialogue. BRB. Okay, so let's pretend that I broke into the waste disposal area a little more thoroughly the first time we ran across it. You tell Mayor Crouch of the barrels of poison leaking underground. Shocked, she falls back into her chair, speechless. She shakes her head for several long minutes. Then she says, "Thank you. I beg you. Do what you can to remove the poison. I don't know how, but I'm sure you can find a way. And all it will take is the help of, heretofore unknown alien race and some friendly spiders." Well, let's get back to it. Probably should be curing more disease. I'm not sure how much sludge I'm going to have to walk through. I think not that much because it's mostly concentrated in this corner. So we're going to have to go the long way around. Wait, what? Oh, because this was out of spell points. So easy to not see the difference between the little red dots and the little black dots if I'm not actually looking that close. Fire cell, keep out. Oh, hey! That's quickfire. Brent's a big boy. He can handle a little bit of poison. Hello. Diseased again. Also, ghouls, not friendly ones. I am going to run out of spell points so badly. Oh dear. If I wasn't so worried about resource management, I would compare the stats of ghouls and ghasts to see which makes the better summon. Share your opinion in the comments below if you have any. I'm sure throwing fireballs around all this toxic waste is perfectly safe. Oh, dang it. Happened again. Okay, Lyra, I guess you just get to... Oh, no, I do have another energy potion. For what little good it does me. Control chamber, which unfortunately is closed off. Another fire cell. Waste arrival. Of course. That's odd. One of these boxes of waste is shaking. Do you open it? Oops. It would appear that not all of the waste placed here was inert. It's a slime! What? Did the slime not take any damage from flame? Well, that's weird. You are weirdly tough for a slime. Waste arrival, but this one is open. This chamber was where fresh, virulent waste was teleported in for storage. For extra safety, magic barriers were placed around the arrival portal. Most of the barriers have faded away on their own at this point. Well, fortunately, the arrival platform is clean. Not even adventurers as foolhardy as you would step into a portal this weak and unstable, leading to who knows where. You back away carefully. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the other end would be back up in experiment halls. I'm also pretty sure that's not a place we want to go right now. Busted down wall. River of sludge. This is fine. Everything's fine. Totally fine. This room must be where the barrels started to leak. It looks like there was a cave in here. The barrels broke, and the goo spilled out, eating away at the other containers from the outside. Now the stuff is working its way into the other chambers, breaking open more containers as it goes. Soon every bit of waste here will be turned loose, unless you do something. And the quickfire here is almost free to spread, but it can't move diagonally. Suddenly, things start climbing out of the acidic muck. You watch, stunned, amazed that anything could survive in that stuff. One thing sure can, though: demons. The hellish imps were having a pleasant, leisurely swim in the goop before you arrived. Now, annoyed that you want to end their fun, they decide to kill you. Well, that's a big problem. You cast disease when I'm already horribly riddled with disease. That's just not fair. Will Wand of Charming work on an imp? I feel like Ice Bolt will be more effective. Also, I feel like I should have used this skill potion at some point. Because it does give me more skill points. Yes. Never to go and sell this, but then I hardly need to. Hordling is charmed. Okay. That's cool. Oh, hi. Ooh, Flaming Sword actually does damage against them. I have not nearly enough of anything. Ugh. You know what? How about that goo bomb? Also, basic powder has been almost entirely useless so far. Hoy. Actually, the Wand of Fireballs most likely will be useless here. Okay, I need to cure poison, but I really need to heal Orig. This is going quite badly. Use weak speed, and you feel speedy. That's a fun sound effect for a speed potion. Well, at least one of them is dead. I'd really rather not have anyone be dead here, so I'm gonna reload and try to do this a little better. I really should have kept my older save before I gave away the Scepter of Healing. What do you mean carrying too much? Come on now. Well, it's not like I need the piercing crystals. Okay, really, how much does this Tome of Clarity weigh? Alright, from the top. Save on spell points. Already read the thing. And I made it through the first room without getting diseased. How much range do I have on the cursing and slowing spells? Fair bit. I didn't get the white. The white must be farther away, but I got a bunch of ghouls and ghasts. Wall of Ice won't do much against undead. Wall of Force will do a little bit. Oh, great, that can happen mid-battle. You know what? The Wand of Charming has been so much fun. Ghast is charmed. Double kill. like the only one left is friendly now. Hehehehe. Charming is so much fun. Isn't that right, Miss Garnet? Now, unfortunately, that ghast is probably not going to be much help against the slime. Unless it suddenly gets smart enough to follow me this far. Why do I fight the slime again? Because I can. Imprisoned slime! More health than the slimes back from Exile 3, and an acid touch. I didn't see anything about immunity to fire, though. Yay. And diseased again. But I haven't used any of my teeny little energy potions yet, so that's already an improvement. And here's the room where the leak started, and the horribly large river of slime. Let's see here. I think I spot a pretty good place to put a summon. But, oh, I don't have the range for it. Slow group it is. Wand of Fireballs would be a little better here than Wand of Acid, but Thistle keeps running into problems where she can't hold enough stuff. He. That was a slight mistake. Actually, I could use a weak curing potion to deal with that. Using a curing potion to deal with being poisoned, who'da thunk? And it turns out, Orig is pretty good with Wand of Fireballs anyway. Of course, it does no damage to the demons. So the flaming sword is just that special, apparently. Oh, Brent's webbed, that's why he's not getting as many action points. And get webbed, idiots. And also wall of iced. Oh, phooey. Brent is blocking everyone else's way because he's covered in webs. Auric can still kill the spirits from far away, though. Haha. Oh no, I'm diseased. Whatever shall I do? I feel like I should use this Scroll of Ice Bolt. Aw, but... well, it's probably in range, I just can't see him through all the webs. Heh. 18 damage and still not dead. Oh, right, no spell points. Let's fix that. Will I need to kill this Hordling anyway? Or maybe he'll just wander off on his own. That'd be cool. Yes, let's pick up some food from the demons that have been swimming in toxic sludge. Perfectly fine, that. I don't know if there's much point to exploring this corner here. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure if I can explore it that much. Oh, that's Beryl. Yeah, poisonous goo is so concentrated that it will kill us right quick. I think that's about as much as I can explore. Control chamber. So yeah, if we took this... the control chamber is very accessible from the straight way in. Unfortunately, River of Slime was blocking us. Yeah, I'm still amused by that one charmed Hordling running around. Control chamber seems to be secured from the rest of the room. Probably a good idea. Opening stone. You have finally managed to reach the control panel for the primary waste storage facility. Perhaps here, you can find a way to contain the stuff. Or you could also make the problem much worse. Sit down, if you dare. You sit down and look the controls over. At first, you think your trip to the main control room was in vain. Everything looks pretty dark and uninteresting. Then you notice that one of the displays isn't dark after all. It's flickering very dimly. You bend down to read it. It says, "Activate purification process. Danger, safety off." Next to the light is a tiny switch. You could push the switch. However, you're a tiny bit nervous about the whole safety thing. Well, it's not like we have any other options here. You push the switch. A little hole opens up on the panel, and the words "Insert Crystal" appear next to it, written in letters of mist. It looks like the crystal the Vanatai gave you would fit perfectly. This would appear to be it. Do you insert the crystal? You insert the crystal. There is a flash of light and heat, and it disintegrates. You aren't allowed time to ponder what this means. At last, the powerful machinery of the School of Magery has been unleashed, as it should have been long before. Quickfire is the most thorough, devastating, rapacious magical effect known. It can and will devour anything and everything it can reach. You hear the roar of its unending flame roaring through the storage areas, devouring the waste. For whatever reason, the waste destruction mechanisms weren't used when the school was closed. At last, they have been activated. Unfortunately, the doors and gates that would keep the quickfire from reaching you are no longer working. You watch rusted shutters pathetically attempt to close over the windows surrounding you. They aren't working. The fire will soon reach you. Perhaps you should run? Yeah, that door is not going to close. The quickfire advanced too fast. You didn't have a chance. You were trapped. The searing heat, which will burn away all the waste in the repository, will turn you to ash as well. You grow resigned. You have no hope. Then, suddenly, all is blackness. You are no longer in the school. You have been transported to an area of total darkness, where you float suspended in nothingness. Is this the end? Have you died? Then you hear a voice. You recognize it. It's Bayatel, the leader of the Vanatai. He says, "Gratitude and honor are thing we Vanatai always much valuing. Your goodness to us is getting reward now. Saving you is but the least we can do. Thanking to you, and good luck." Then you are somewhere else. You find yourself back in Sweetgrove, standing in front of Mayor Crouch. She is surprised, to say the least, at your appearance. She asks you what happened and why you've just appeared here, all smoking and burny and covered in ash. You tell her of your adventure in the school, the leaky waste barrels, and of their destruction. Her reaction surprises you. You thought she would be thrilled, but she only grows more grim as you explain the situation. Finally, she says, "It is as I feared. You have done a great good deed, but we will not be the beneficiaries. Our masters, the Empire, have poisoned our Vale, and it will be many years before the poisons are leached away. The poison in the water and the dirt will stay there for some time. The only hope for us, here, today, is to leave before it kills us all. Please do not think me ungrateful." She sends for an aide, and you are given a large sack of gold coins. Simply letting us know the dimensions of the problem was an incredible service. Now we can escape with our lives. In addition, you saved many more lives, I am sure, by removing the problem's source. The Vale's woes will not now spread to other locales. For this we are infinitely grateful. Thank you again for your help. She returns to her desk. Now the work of survival begins. In the weeks that followed, the Vale was evacuated. The Empire, uncharacteristically, tried to give some compensation, but nothing could make up for what these people have lost. You are rewarded, of course, with the gold you have received, plenty of hard experience, and the promise of jobs to come. It's a bittersweet victory. As you leave the Vale for the last time, you look back. It remains a grim place, lacking green plants and birdsong. You console yourselves with the fact that while animals and fish will still die here, humans will not. In the next few years, things turn out to be not as bad as they seemed. The magic which created the sickness also serves, with great difficulty, to cure it as well. Empire wizards purge the soil of its poisons, and destroy the school and its contents. The Vale never again regains its legendary richness and beauty, but it does become safe and productive again. And finally, one day, the people of Skylark Vale return to reclaim their home. The end. Congratulations! You have just completed this scenario! If you want, you can save your adventurers now before returning to the starting screen. If you have any items stored in this scenario, you can get them back when you start the next. Save. Well, thank you all for watching the first scenario of Blades of Exile, the one that most of us are very familiar with, the Valley of Dying Things, the only one that is playable in the demo. Possibly known to some as OSHA Violations, the scenario. You know, looking back, I've often thought that the central idea and themes of this scenario got used again in later Spiderweb games, particularly the Geneforge series, what with the massive facility closed down too quickly and left alone for generations to come back and cause problems later on. Although the School of Magery in Skylark Vale started causing problems on its own, the Geneforge didn't really have hell start breaking loose until after the protagonist gets to the island and starts discovering things. But enough of that for now. I will be back later with more Blades of Exile scenarios, or more indie games. Until then, have a good one, everybody.